Hello, dear ones. Hello, family. You're at home. You're at home with Jim and Joy. And we want you to be a part of the show as we share about classical Catholic education. 205-271-2980 or toll free 800-221-9460 or email us at jimandjoy@ewtn.com. Well, Joy, it was a wonderful weekend that we had, especially celebrating one of our grandchildren's first birthday, James Joseph.
Yes, it was wonderful. We got to be with family celebrating as you've all been journeying with us. We've had losses, we have gains, we have joys, we have sorrow. We're real people, we have real struggles. And but this was a happy occasion, and we got to celebrate James Joseph, and Rebecca and her family came down to celebrate James, and it was just a really neat little party for the one-year-old guy.
After 3 miscarriages, we had James Joseph a year ago. He's absolutely beautiful. And as you said, Rebecca, who just suffered a miscarriage as well. We always say, Lamara il dolce. Life is filled with the bitter and the sweet. So even Rebecca and her whole family came to celebrate James Joseph, even though they're grieving. And I love they had a cheer at the end of it.
They did a cute little cheer.
Rebecca's 6 children did a little cheer for James Joseph, and one of them got up on the leg of the other one and was cheering. It was just so wonderful.
It was really sweet, and they love so well. So thank God for James Joseph. But today also is All Souls Day, and it's a day of hope. It's a day where we in the church celebrate the lives of all the people who have died before.
Faithfully departed.
And the faithfully departed, but they're not dead, they're alive, right? And so I just, I've been, if you haven't seen, I have been on Religious Catalog, selling lots of things. I'm here, I'm there, I'm everywhere. But so this is a great book, and Susan Tassoni called the house over the weekend. And this, she is like the purgatory doctor, eh?
She's the purgatory lady.
She's the purgatory lady. And she did a great show on Sunday night live with Father, and talking about her books in this journey. But this book has really been helpful for me. It stays on my bedside, and it's 365 reflections, so you could start at any time. And you can get this great book at ewtnrc.com, and it's item number T1577. And what's the beauty about it? Well, the beauty about it is she gives a little, life is busy and full, and at the end of the day, I want to read something that's beautiful, that's going to be enriching to my life, and it's a little paragraph, and that's probably all I got time for, and then I'm usually going to sleep, and you're saying, are you going to sleep? Are you asleep now? It's a beautiful book. But it gives you a little reflection about purgatory, what it is, and then a reflection like pray for the people who are going to die today, who has no one to pray for them. Pray for all the priests who might be in purgatory. Pray for all of your loved ones. But pray, and just the beauty of that journey, just really enriching. I hope you go to ewtnrc.com. Great book, day by day, for the holy souls in purgatory.
Remember, we're all a part of the family. The living here on earth, those on the way to their final destination of heaven in totality, and those saints that are already there. Laura Berquist is the founding director of Mother of Divine Grace School, motherofdivinegrace.org. We're going to be speaking about classical Catholic education. We want to hear from you. 205-271-2980, 800-221-9460. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back. Please don't go away.
Welcome back. Well, you are at home with Jim and Joy, and today we have the pleasure and the sheer privilege to bring to you a new friend. Her name is Laura Berquist. She is the founding director of Mother of Divine Grace School. You can go to our website, motherofdivinegrace.org. We want you to be a part of our show. Give us a jingle. Maybe you've homeschooled your children. Maybe you were homeschooled. Just tell us your story.
Maybe you want to, but you're afraid to.
Right, and you don't think, I don't qualify for this. And Laura is just going to tell the beautiful story of that. So give us a jingle at 205-271-2980 or toll free 1-800-221-9460. You can always send us an email, jimandjoy@ewtn.com. Well, we were just having a grand chat back in the green room. And Laura, welcome to At Home with Jim and Joy. God bless you. We're so glad that you're here. Now, we want you to tell our family at home just about who you are. And you're pretty amazing. I mean, just learning about you is like, wow. Mother of 6,
yes.
A widow,
yes.
but you were married 38 years.
37.
And you have 11 grandchildren.
I have 11 grandchildren.
And that is wonderful.
Yes.
You went to St. Thomas Aquinas College.
Right.
You were in the first class.
I was in the first class, yes.
Well,
so started in 71 and graduated in 75. Yeah.
Wonderful.
So one of 18 graduates that first
A few
year.
of your children have gone there as well, huh?
Yes, actually all 6 of my children have graduated from Thomas Aquinas
So
College.
perfect.
Says a lot.
And your husband was one of the
He
founding.
was one of the founders, right.
So beautiful.
Yeah, thank
Well,
you.
tell us how this curriculum, this beautiful classical curriculum, came about. You were being a mom. Did you wake up and always know that you wanted to homeschool?
No.
So tell us your journey and your story.
Yeah, I'd be happy to. What I knew was that I wanted to have the kind of education for my children that I'd found at Thomas Aquinas College, to be frank, because that changed my life. It just changed my life. And I wanted my children to be able to participate in that. I knew that if they could be ready for that, they'd be ready for anything, right? But I didn't think I could homeschool. My mom, who's Donna Steichen, she wrote Ungodly Rage, The Hidden Face of Catholic Feminism. She urged me to homeschool, but I just thought, that'd be too hard. I'm going to have babies, you get sick, you have laundry. It's not
I
gonna
can't educate and raise
Right,
them.
exactly.
Right, that's just too much.
Right,
Yeah.
right. That's exactly what I thought. So instead, a group of us started a school. And why you think that was easier, I don't know now. But we thought that would be easier. But then we didn't have very much money, and when it came time for my 3rd child to go into the school, we couldn't afford another teacher. So I kept him home, and I started homeschooling him. We were having a really good time. It was really fun. And my 2nd child wasn't having a really good time in school. She wasn't happy. She cried. It was time to go to school. And I thought, well, this is dumb, right? Why should I send her to school and I'm having fun with him? So I kept her home. And then the 3 of us were having a really good time. And I did have a toddler, and I was pregnant. So it was a busy life.
Yeah.
But I just loved it. I just really, really enjoyed it. So the following year, I brought my oldest child home. And so then we homeschooled through high school, all of them, all 6 of them. I didn't know right away what kind of curriculum. You know, I knew the end, and Aristotle says the end is the cause of causes. So if you know where you're going, that's the first thing, right? But still, you have to figure out, so what
How am I going to get there?
How am I going to get there? Yeah, like what books am I going to use? What questions am I going to consider? What assignments am I going to give, right? So I spent 10 years kind of working that out. One of the things that I saw, which we were talking about earlier, is that there are stages of formation. You can't ask little people to do the same thing that you ask older children to do. And there's a kind of natural change in the children. If you're, if you're there all day with them, you see those changes.
You figure that out.
You figure that out. You say, oh, hey, she couldn't answer that question last year. What's the main point of the story? That was like just completely beyond her comprehension. And now that's what she's thinking about with everything she reads. Okay, I need to tailor what we're doing to that consideration, to
Child development.
Child development, right. So there are these stages of formation. So I learned that, and then I also there are certain overarching themes I knew I wanted my children, by the time they graduated from my home, I wanted to make sure that they knew. For example, I wanted them to know the motives of credibility. That is, that argument, what St. Thomas calls the preambles of faith, that starts with, you can show by reason that God exists, and that he did in fact found a church, and the church has these characteristics, and where is that church today, right? I wanted my children to be able to make that argument. So everything I was doing was, you know, in our religious education was kind of ordered to that end. I wanted them to know what a good government was, because we live in a time when that's a serious question, right? So I included information along the way, as was appropriate for their stage of formation, so that in 12th grade we read St. Thomas, the questions on law in the Prima Secundae. So questions 90 and 91 on what law is. But you know, you have to get people ready. You can't just plop that down in front of them. You have to get them ready for that. So I developed this curriculum over 10 years.
For your family.
Because you
my
started in
family.
1995?
So our school started in 1995. So I was doing this at home from 85 on. And you know, trying things out, dumping things,
saying
new
this
things.
works, this is,
Right, exactly. And then a friend of mine asked me to come and talk at a conference. And as I mentioned, up till that point, we'd kept a pretty low profile because homeschooling was not as common as it is today.
This is what year? About?
So that would have been probably
mid-80s?
No, this would be later. It'd be more like 92, say. So this friend asked me to speak at a homeschooling conference. And I asked my husband, because he'd been very, you know, like, we want to keep a low profile. And he said, yeah, you should do it. I was like, what? I was so surprised. So my friend said, bring a handout, Laura. People need something to take home with them. So I was going to do one page of, you know, something for each grade level. And I called up my friend and said, could I do 12 pages, one for each grade level, because this isn't working? She said, yeah, it's a lot of paper, but I guess so. So I started that, and that wasn't working either. My husband came home one night and he said, honey, that's not a handout, that's a book. So I did actually self-publish the first edition of Designing Your Own Classical Curriculum, little gray pamphlet, nice little silhouette drawings, it's pretty. And I took it to that conference. So what I did was tell people, I have this little book, right? And I sold virtually every copy I brought, which was amazing.
Was it the curriculum from like kindergarten through
what? 12th grade, right. But so, you know, not worked out in a lot of detail, but an overview. And I talked about, you know, classical education. I talked about the fact that though all men think, thinking can be done well or badly, and you can be taught to do it well, and that's what we want for our children. So I talked about that in my little book. I talked about classical education is the education that every educated person in Western civilization once received. It's an education that's ordered to knowing the best, the highest, the most worth knowing. And it's what we want for our children, right? It's what we want for our children. So that resonated with people because it's what we want for our children.
It resonates, but I'd be sitting there and saying, I want all of that, but where do I find that?
Yes, right. Well,
and that's where you came in.
And that's where so, you know, so I had this list of, you know, things to do and why for each grade level. And then Bethlehem Books picked it up. They liked it. They thought I could expand it a little. So I expanded it a little bit, and they published it. And then Ignatius picked it up, and we expanded it a little more. And then someone called me up and said, I think that you might be interested in a school. So first I started like a school within another school. It was a secular school. But from a culturally Jewish lady who always liked Catholics. So she was amazing. She let me set up my program, and she just let me run it. So she was amazing. It was such a gift. And then eventually we separated very amicably, so that Mother of mine, she said, you know, it's ready to stand on its own. And so then we
Isn't that beautiful?
Wasn't that beautiful?
Yeah.
And you know, the whole way it's been like that, right? I didn't intend to write a book. I mean, my mom did encourage me to write a book, but I hadn't really intended. But then this came up, and so I did it. I was mentioning to you, we didn't have lesson plans for our families till one of the moms I was working with said, Laura, I'm not going to do this next year unless I have detailed lesson plans. So I said, oh, okay, I guess I can do that. And then I wrote the lesson plans based on the book. And then some mom says, Laura, I can't correct my students' work. I can't do that. I need help.
Yeah.
Said, well, okay, I guess we can do that. And then we set up our teacher services program, which now, the children can send in all of their work, and then they can meet with the teacher monthly or biweekly or weekly, depending on what the mom wants, right?
So this is a distance school? Is that
It's
what
a
you call it?
distance learning program.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so how many do you have involved with this? Or
Okay,
with the school?
so now we have about 4,600 students.
4,600.
From all over the country.
Yeah, all over the world, actually.
World.
Wow.
But English speaking.
Yeah.
I'd really like to do something for other. But anyway, we're
So what are the
English speaking.
services that you offer?
Yeah, so we offer, the first thing when a family enrolls is that they're paired with a consultant. And the consultant is a mom who has done this program in her own home with her own children, so she knows it from the inside. She's not just an expert in education, she actually knows what it's like to school your children in your own house. Right? And she's had additional training on the methodology and the content. Then she talks to the family, and by the way, once you're enrolled and you have a consultant, then that's who you talk to when you call in. You don't have to explain every time to somebody new who you are.
Right.
You've got one person.
You have an
deal with.
assigned consultant.
An assigned consultant, and they get to be really close friends. And then you decide among the other services. So we have synchronous online classes for all of our high school courses. And again, that was because people asked, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't a plan. It was, and for most of our middle school courses, and we have some enrichment courses for the little kids, some fine arts, which is really important. And then we have the teacher services where people send in work. And then we have the consultant who, every family has a consultant. And the consultant always sees the students' quarterly assignments so that she's always getting to know her family on every level. So she talks to the mom, she sees the students' work, and she oversees the other services they're enrolled in. She's kind of like the heart,
Right.
Then we also offer a few things for parents. We do offer monthly classes for about those stages of formation we were talking about, so that the moms are, aware of our methodology and our content. We also offer, every year I offer one of our high school courses to our moms. So this year we're doing the ancient history together. So
Wonderful.
we read the Iliad and Antigone, and right now we're reading, and then we read Herodotus, some of the histories. Now we're reading Isocrates. It's really fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if that sounds like, but it's really fun.
Yeah.
And then last year we did the Bible study. So in 11th grade we do a Bible study for religion, but I did that with the moms, any mom who wanted to do that. And the year before we did our advanced government. The year before that we did Catholic doctrine. I think next year I'll do the 10th grade religion, sacraments and apologetics. But I also have an encyclical class that I do with the moms. So right now we're reading Mystici Corporis. It's so much fun. It's so much fun. And it's so enlightening. I was telling you, we read Costi Connubii last year. But it's very moving, and it very, very much pertains to what we're talking about. So
How is that?
yeah, well, for one thing, the Holy Father makes clear that parents, all parents, right,
Yep.
are responsible for the education of their children. And they all have the ability to do this, right? We all have the ability to do this because we have the grace of the sacrament. It's through the grace of the sacrament. The sacrament gives sanctifying grace and sacramental grace. Sanctifying grace is a participation in God's life.
Right.
Wonderful.
Right.
Sacramental grace is for the specific end of the sacrament, and the end of the sacrament of matrimony is the procreation and education of children.
Of the children.
Right? So we all have the grace to educate our children. However we choose to do that, however we choose to do that, all moms and dads are the primary educators of their children. And I watched one of your shows where you were talking about doing a Bible study.
Right.
And that's exercising that grace, right?
Yeah.
That's homeschooling. All homeschooling is teaching your children. We all teach our children.
And that was
We
that was
all
our
teach our
son
children.
coming to us, who was playing with his friends, and he was really concerned and came home and
Yeah.
said, "Dad, I don't know if they're going to heaven or hell."
Yeah, God
Right.
bless them.
And that was what you were saying at the outset. You know, I knew where I wanted to go. I
Right.
know where I want to lead my children, heaven.
Right.
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 And that our faith is a reasonable faith, as well as divine revelation and so on. And
Right.
how do I get
Right.
this across from every aspect to get them where I
Yes.
want them to be? That's my responsibility.
Yes,
That's what you're saying.
that's
ultimately.
exactly right. It's my responsibility. Yeah, in Casti Connubii, the Holy Father says those talents that were given, so in the parable where the master gives the stewards the talents, right? 1, 3,
Yeah.
5, 1, 5, 10. He gives them the talents. Well, the Holy Father says, for us who are parents, the talents we're given are our children.
Wow.
Right. And that is
beautiful.
powerful, because then we have to answer back to God what we did with them. Did we
Right.
raise them for this earth, or did we
we
raise them for
Him?
heaven?
Right.
You know,
Right. And
with
that,
the gifts and talents that God gave them.
exactly. Exactly. And then we're giving them back to Him with interest, right?
Right.
That's what we're supposed to do.
We're speaking with Laura Berquist, and we want you to be a part of the show. 205-271-2980, 800-221-9460. She's laying out this beautiful curriculum that we might get our children where they should go, ultimately to heaven. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Please call in, share at this moment. We'll be right back.
Welcome back, where you are at home with Jim and Joy, and we want to hear from you. So give us a jingle at 205-271-2980, or call us toll free 1-800-221-9460. We're having a wonderful conversation with this brilliant woman, Laura Berquist, who is just sharing all about homeschooling, her classical methodology. Just so beautiful. We're going to go straight to the email. It said, I would love to homeschool my kids, but I feel like I'm not qualified to teach subjects like high school math and science. Do parents need certain credentials in order to homeschool? And this is Donna Ray from Pennsylvania.
Okay. Donna, that's a question we hear all the time, and I want to assure you that no, you don't need certain credentials. And I mean, that's what we're trying to do, right? My goal is to help moms in whatever way they need help. If you need help with math and science, we have wonderful teachers who can help you with that. Really brilliant, honestly, women, mostly, who are homeschooling their kids too,
Yeah.
but who are willing to share their talent with others. So we have, like I said, synchronous online classes. We actually have classes that your kids can go to. And then we also have people that you can, we have labs too, so you can set up a lab with the teacher, so you can have one-on-one time and use a whiteboard so that you can go over the material. And then you can also send in your work and we'll correct it and send it. So we help. We will help you. We will help you.
It's interesting that she used the word credentials. Now,
Yeah.
we know that mothers have credentials, that there's no
Yes.
credentials that were like a mother, but the word credential is an important one too. And so, Mother of Divine Grace School,
Yes.
what are your credentials?
Good. So we are an accredited school. We're accredited. We have regional accreditation by the Western Association of Schools and Colleges, just like any Catholic
So
school
you're
down
like,
the street.
you're like a Catholic school here in Birmingham? or
Yes,
anything?
exactly.
That's amazing.
They would probably have the Southern
Okay.
version of that. We're in the Western Association.
You're credentialed, you're accredited.
We're accredited.
So anybody who's a part of this throughout the country as a homeschooler is not simply homeschooling on their own
Right.
and all the laws that apply to their state, and they need to
Yeah.
know those, but they are a part of an accredited school.
Right.
That's where they're
right.
going to school.
Yeah, we're kind of an interesting hybrid because we are really truly a school, but we are a school that really believes that the parents are the primary educators of their children, and our goal is to help parents in whatever way they need, whatever help it is that they need. So we offer oversight. One of the things when I was homeschooling before there was a school, I had a third grader, right? wasn't sure about his writing, you know? So I went to the local little Protestant school where I'd met some people that were very nice, and I took in my work and I said, would you just like look at this? What do you think?
Is he okay?
Is he okay?
Am I okay? Is what I'm doing okay? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So when I started a school, that was one of the things I wanted to offer the moms. I wanted, you know, so our teachers see tons of student work. They can say, yeah, this is normal, this is great, this is brilliant. That's actually, to be honest, the thing we run into most often is moms tend to be hard on the kids. You know, they say, this child's not writing like me. Well, yeah, right. I mean,
you're an adult.
You're an adult, right? But
okay, well, we have a phone call. This is Sandra from Michigan. Sandra, welcome to At Home with Jim and Joy, and your question or your comment for Laura.
Hi, Jim and Joy, and hi, Laura.
Hi, Sandra.
I can understand the comment that was just read from the email, because 15 years ago, I was in the shoes of that mom. I had been feeling this call to homeschool my children. At the time, I had 3. I now have 4. And it was a scary proposition. I knew other people who homeschooled, and I had a sister who homeschooled, but the idea of me doing this and being successful at it and giving my children what they needed, it was just very intimidating to me. But I prayed in front of the Blessed Sacrament for weeks and weeks and weeks. I enlisted my oldest son at the time, Christopher, to pray as well, because he was about 10 years old at the time and wanted to homeschool. And then I enlisted my mom, who's a very big prayer warrior. And so through all of that, God led my husband and me to make the decision to homeschool. And through some more prayer and novena to the Blessed Mother, I was led to Mother Divine Grace School. And it has been such a gift to my family. So I would have just encouraged that mom in Pennsylvania not to worry, that God will give you the grace. As Laura said earlier in the program, He has given me so many graces, not only to know what to teach and how to teach it and where to help my children, specifically through Mother Divine Grace, but also to bring our family closer together.
Thank you so much for your call and for your comments.
Wonderful. Isn't that wonderful? And the most wonderful thing there is she knew where to go. Right? You go to Jesus. That's what you do. I always say to the moms, look, every year when you're thinking about the upcoming year, go make your holy hour and talk to Jesus as though He were your best friend.
Sure.
Because He is, right? Tell Him what you would tell your best friend. Ask. That's what Sandra did. God bless her.
And what was else? It was important. You know, she went seeking His face, seeking His heart, seeking His mind, because these are His children, and that's the talent that they bring. It's like, Lord, I want to present them back to you. I want them to be.
Children.
I want everything that you want them to be. And then she went to His mother. Like, you know, blessed mother, what am I to do? Always seeking His face, seeking His heart, seeking His mind, and therein lies the great answer. And the beautiful thing is that you were there. She didn't have to reinvent the wheel. Right? And so she was able to plug into your beautiful
And what a
school.
blessing for me, right? What a blessing that I'm able to help. I mean, that's really exciting.
So this community element, this mentoring aspect, this people to go to is just really
it's huge.
Critical.
You know, our mom just enrolled, so she's new, and she's one of my moms that I'm working with. And so we had our second consultation just the other day. And I said to her, how's it going? How's the year going? It was so interesting what she said. She said, oh, it's great. It's a wonderful year. I'm having a really good year. Kids are learning well. The best part is I'm part of this community.
That's right.
That was the thing.
Right.
I thought that was so interesting that, and she's new. It's not, you know, Sandra's been doing this for a long time. She feels part of the community. That's not surprising. But this new mom, isn't that nice?
That is so beautiful. Because everybody needs to belong, and everybody needs to know that they're plugged in and they're not alone. And you're not like out on this island like, what am I doing? And I hope this turns out okay, you know. But
isn't that right?
You have finished products.
Yeah. And that's why the consultant is so important. You know, the fact the consultant has done this with her own children in her own home. So she's actually been there, and she can say, oh yeah, I had that issue. Here's what we did. Here's what worked out. And look at my children now, you know? Such a gift.
Okay, we have a great email. I've often heard the phrase, American schools don't teach children how to learn, they just teach children how to take tests. And it seems that schools are teaching children to memorize information instead of teaching children to think critically, ask questions, and gain deeper understanding. Do you think this is hurting our country's potential for innovation and growth? And this is from Martin.
Yes, I agree with you, Martin. I do agree with you. I mean, the fact is, kids have to know how to take tests.
Right.
You know, there are some high-stakes tests they're going to have to be able to do. So that's, but it just reminds me of one time a mom called me. So I was at home. I was homeschooling my children. This mom calls. Step away from my children so I can talk to her. And she was saying that, she was talking about some problems she was having with her son. And I was explaining that you want to work with the child, so I was suggesting that she break down the writing assignment, have him say it orally, she could write it down, he could copy it. The finished product is entirely his own, but you've broken up the process, so it's easier, right? Right, so I was suggesting that, she liked that idea, and then she was telling me they were having some trouble with the science tests, and I said, well, you know, I mean, tests are good, that's good, but you know, what you really want in science is for the child to see the wonder of God's creation, right? I mean, that's really the goal. And so I think that it works best to have your child tell you what he learned rather than you give him a test so you can see where the holes are. You know, like, and it changes the relationship, right? We're working together to see what's wonderful in creation instead of me trying to see what you don't know. Right? So I told the mom that, and she said to me, gosh, this is so different. It's like we're supposed to be working with our children. Yeah, that's the idea. We want to work with our children. So I'm with Martin. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't take a test. You should be able to take a test.
It doesn't mean you shouldn't memorize.
And memorizing is important. Memorizing is a way to strengthen and develop the imagination.
Okay, we have a phone call. This is Andrea from Florida. Andrea, welcome to At Home with Jim and Joy. Your question or your comment for Laura? Andrea?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I just wanted to encourage anyone who was thinking about this because, 19 years ago, when my youngest was not in school yet, and I have 7 children now, I read Designing Your Own Classical Curriculum, and I thought, oh, this would just be a dream because my children ask me when they're little, how can we homeschool? And I say, you can't get this anywhere else, this education, and nowhere we can afford, you know, for sure. And so it seemed as if our family unfolded, so did Laura's school, and each step of the way we had what we needed. And now my oldest son is at Ave Maria, he's in the honors, and I have to say how well prepared he was, and through a lot of family difficulties and struggles and ups and downs. And I like to say, like, we're the proof that anyone can do it, because my kids would rather be playing baseball or soccer, you know, but it really works, and they're very well formed, and I just am so grateful and would encourage anyone anywhere to do it. You won't regret it.
Thank you so much for your
That's
call.
wonderful.
Well, that's another question too. How do you homeschool multiple kids? Right? That's got to be difficult.
Right. That's always that's one of the big questions.
That's a great dance.
Yeah, it is a great dance. That's right. But you said something earlier. The first thing is mom's attitude, right? That's the very first thing. You have to approach this like this is fun. And you know, I loved homeschooling. That doesn't mean I loved every moment of every day, but I loved homeschooling. When my baby graduated, I cried. I had a span of 13 years, right? So you're doing Latin with your older children, translating, and you're teaching somebody how to read. You have to be able to balance those things. So there are things that we always tell moms with large families. We encourage them to have older children help younger children. Beautiful. For the family, good for everybody, right? We suggest that they group people for things that you can, you know, for the arts and maybe hands-on science experiments and that kind of thing. You group them. I learned that both reading aloud and saying prayers is a nice way of quieting a group. So when things are getting a little out of hand, it's prayer time. And I had toys for the little kids that only came out during school time, and that has to be real, right? So you have to take it away when school's over, so that you have. We also use well, I'm older, right? Story records. We had records that
Right.
the kids listened to. I think that there are techniques that you learn to utilize to help you organize your little group. But the most important thing is your own attitude. It really is.
Our
It's your
time
own
is
attitude.
really moving, and we got so many phone calls. Let's take Caroline from Illinois. Your question or your comment? Caroline, you're on. You're at home with Jim and Joy.
My question is, I have heard several programs on EWTN on the Mother Seton homeschool program, and I would like to know the difference between Mother of Divine Grace and Mother Seton. Thank you for answering my question.
Thank you, Caroline. You know, what I usually say to that is, I can tell you all about Mother of Divine Grace. I know it from the inside. The best thing to do, Seton's a wonderful program. It's a wonderful program. God bless them for the good that they do. To know about their program, you should ask them. It's really better, you know,
Yeah.
everybody knows
Sure.
their own.
And it's nice
right?
to have some choices
And
that are
it's
good
wonderful.
choices.
And they're
Right.
not, you know, there are a number of good homeschooling programs. So there's Seton, there's us, there's Colby Academy, there's various.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so let's say there are people out there today, they've been listening, like we said, some of them are saying, I don't know if I could ever do this. Now
Yeah.
you've made me think maybe I can
Yeah,
do this.
they can
I mean,
do
where do they go? I mean, who do they call? What
Well,
happens? They go to your
so-
website. Who will they speak with?
Yeah, good. So they call our office, and they talk. We have various people who are ready to talk to them. We also have this cool little chat thing. You can ask
Yes.
questions through a chat. It's amazing the kind of technology.
I know. Isn't it wonderful?
It's amazing. Our website has a lot of information. I was looking last night to remind myself of what was on there. And there's one section that's called Curriculum Overview.
Right.
I have a lot of information and a bunch of talks embedded in there so that, you know, if somebody just wants to know
And your
more.
opening piece is wonderful. I mean, you're right there. You click it, and you 7-minute sharing about the history of it, what you're
Yes.
trying to
Yeah,
put forth.
right,
It's really
right.
succinct in there.
Yes,
So
that's
beautiful.
true. Yeah.
Okay, well, we're going to go to a break, and when we come back, Laura will still be with us. So don't go away. We'll be right back. You are at home with Jim and Joy. Welcome back where you are at home with Jim and Joy. And you know, we have a live audience in our show. It's a live show, but we have real live human beings with chairs over there. And we would love for you to be a part of our show. You say, well, I would like to take a pilgrimage to EWTN. You can do that. You take a tour. Hopefully you could go up to Hansville. You could see the Blessed Shrine, so beautiful. So you can always go to pilgrimages at EWTN.com, or you can call 205-271-2966 and be a part of this show. It's so much fun.
Indeed.
And we would love to have you there, and you'd get to meet us, and that would be wonderful. And we would love to meet you. Well, now we're going to go straight to Rome and hear what Joan has for us. Joan?
Greetings from Rome on this beautiful spring-like November day, the Feast of All Souls. And yesterday, of course, was the Feast of All Saints, the Solemnity of All Saints. And the Holy Father said Mass, as is tradition in the Vatican or in Rome. He said Mass at Verano Cemetery, the city's largest. And he said he was sharing with all those who throughout the world in these days pray at the tombs of their loved ones. Now, his homily was on the Beatitudes. Of course, that was the gospel account of the day. And he said that the Beatitudes are the path to holiness. They're the path to happiness. He said this is the path that Jesus took. As a matter of fact, Jesus is the path to holiness. Now, I know that all of us want to be good, holy people and saints someday, so I'd like to give you a look at the Pope's wonderful words at the Angelus on Sunday. Very encouraging words. The Pope explained that saints live their lives in the grace of baptism. They behave like children of God, trying to imitate Jesus. And then he totally ad-libbed, and he said, because we are children of God, we have God's name. Our last name is God's name. And he said, this is really marvelous. The Pope noted that saints are not only those who've been canonized, but sometimes they're the people who live next door. There's someone in our families, someone we've met as we live our daily life. And he said, how many good people do we meet in our lives? How often do we exclaim, that person is a saint? And he said, these are the saints that live next door, not the ones who are canonized, but live with us as we live. And then the Pope noted, he said, acts of tenderness, generous help, closeness, these might appear insignificant to us, but in God's eyes they are eternal, because love and mercy are stronger than death. Beautiful words, and so I leave you, time's up, I leave you on this Feast of All Souls.
Joan, you are such a blessing. It sounds like Mother of Divine Grace School and where you started out. You're saying, even before the school, I knew where I wanted my children to go, to be, and it's all this theme of all saints and all souls.
That's
and,
what we want
and so
for
on.
our children.
What role do the saints play in terms of your teaching, your instruction, or putting out sainthood before them, or saints that you pray to? Or
Yeah, well, we, in the early years especially, I want all my kids to know the whole cloud of witnesses, right? So I was telling you, we have the kids sequence, right? They're retelling things. One of the things they do is they make a book of saints.
Oh, wow.
So you read on Monday, on Tuesday they retell, you write it down, on Wednesday they write out what they retold, as much of it as they can, and then they draw a picture, and so then they have a saint book, right?
That's right.
All through the years. I mean, there are specific years where we really focus on specific saints. 7th grade, we spend a lot of time on the saints. We're talking about the early church, so we're talking about the martyrs. But throughout the curriculum, we talk about
these are the celebrities you look to.
Right,
That's
that's who you want. Yeah. And you know, it makes a big difference.
It does.
It makes a big difference. I took my kids to Holy Hour, right? And what they did, because they're little, so I talked to Jesus. I encouraged them to talk to Jesus, but they always took a saint book, and so we had all those vision books. You're probably familiar with those wonderful vision books, and the kids read them all, right?
Yeah.
They read them at Holy Hour in Jesus's company, outside too. But and I think it makes a huge difference because then you have a witness. You have those are real people.
Right.
You have examples of what real people did in really trying times, and you know I tell. So in the ancient history that we're reading this year, we start out with Daniel, right? Daniel, because Daniel's such an example for us today. He's living in a culture that is in opposition to his faith.
Right.
He was no compromise.
And he no compromise. And yet he was able to work. You know, Daniel's amazing. He's such a man for our time. I want my children to know that. We spend a fair amount of time with St. Thomas More. For the same reason.
That's right.
Right? Because he speaks to us in our time. And you're right, no compromise.
In your writings, you mentioned Father Hardin and a quote by him. Can you quote that for us? And that had such an impact on you, and I think that's a part of what we're sharing here now.
Yeah. Father Hardin, when I first started going to homeschooling conferences, he was alive and he was going to the same conferences. And he would say, only heroic Catholics will survive.
Only heroic Catholics.
I know. It was actually kind of scary, right? You know, so I'm sitting there thinking, I want to survive, and I don't think I'm heroic.
Right,
you know? But like, it keeps coming back to you, right? And then I went to another conference where Father Fessio was speaking, and Father Fessio said, you can't live as a Catholic in this culture without being different.
Right.
You can't do it. And so he said, homeschooling is the hope of the church because homeschoolers, by the very fact that they're homeschooling, are different. So they have a start on that road, right? And when he said that, then I saw that, you know, what Father Hardin was getting at was that we are social beings, right? We want to get along with people, and that's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. You can't get along in a family or in a community if you can't get along, right? We're made that way. Jesus calls us sheep, and there's a reason for that. But we live in a time and in a culture when you can't do that anymore.
Right.
You know, if you're going to follow the shepherd, who is Jesus, you are going to be moving away from the rest.
Right.
And that's heroic
Right.
because it's not how we're built.
Right.
So every one of us, every single one of us is called to be heroic in that way.
That's beautiful.
And because the culture, there's such
Powerful.
opposition to everything to the church. But it's the same thing that you said in the beginning. I'm raising you for heaven.
Right.
And all the
Right.
saints are cheering you on, this
Yes.
great cloud
Yeah,
of
we're
witnesses.
together.
But the problem is so many Christians aren't even in the race.
Yeah.
Like, get in the race.
Yes.
Get off the sidelines and
Right.
get in the race and
Right.
run your race.
Right.
And you
Right.
have encouragement from the saints and,
Right.
and the power of ordinary people that God
Yes.
did extraordinary things through.
Right.
Just like me and you. Look
Right.
what he's done with you. So wonderful. Let's go to Kim from California. Kim, you're at home with Jim and Joy, and your question, your comment for lovely Laura.
Oh, well, thank you so much. Hello, Jim. Hello, Joy. Hello, Laura. You are heroic, Laura. No doubt about it. You started the school, and I am so thankful, my husband's so thankful that Laura did start the school. Our daughters are now in college and beyond, but they started Mother of Divine Grace in 8th grade and 10th grade. So I just wanted to make a point for parents who are thinking maybe it's too late in high school, because my daughter started, as I mentioned, 8th grade and 10th grade. They were in private school, which got to be too expensive, so we looked for options, and this was the option that we decided on, to homeschool with Mother of Divine Grace. And I just wanted to say that the incredible support that we received, we were enveloped by our consultant. She told us exactly what program to follow. And we did. We followed it to a T. We were like the perfect family. I didn't know I could choose the other things. She told me I could, but I just did what she told me. And our daughters excelled. They embraced the program. They loved the history and literature format, which linked literature of the time with the history of the time. And they blossomed. And I was mentioning to the person I spoke to on the phone earlier that I know that testing is not our ultimate goal, but it is a benchmark that a lot of people look for, and particularly coming from the secular world. So I wanted to mention the benchmark that my daughters met. For their SAT scores, it was very formative, the program they were in with Mother of Divine Grace. It formed them in their literature and in their access to literature, and they scored, the one daughter in 10th grade scored an 800 on her SAT literature, and the one in 8th grade scored a 780. And I totally give the credit.
Wow.
They're dutiful students. But Mother of Divine Grace's program really formed them to excel. And the one girl went on to graduate from the University of Notre Dame. She's teaching now, 5th grade classroom. And the other daughter, the younger daughter, is now a senior at California Polytechnic School in Animal Science and is excelling. So I just wanted to say thank you and to let other parents know who are trying to decide to buck society, which you were just discussing. It is a different role, and it is a different role, but it is an excellent.
Well, what a beautiful testimony,
Isn't that
right? To say
wonderful?
there's proof in this pudding
Yes.
that we did the test, we did it, and my daughters have excelled. And they're not only hopefully heaven ready, but they're world ready, and they're equipped.
Yeah.
We're going to go straight to the phones. We have Teresa from New Jersey. Teresa, welcome to At Home with Jim and Joy, and your question, your comment for Laura.
Yes, hi. I just want everyone who's listening to know that homeschooling is possible, even in the most difficult situations. I was a single mother with 4 kids, providing full-time care for my fully dependent 93-year-old ailing grandmother who lived with us. My children have always been homeschooled. We came to a point in life where my husband and I separated. We had a bitter divorce and whatnot. I was at a crossroads. Do I keep the kids home? Do I go find full-time work? What is the right thing to do? We're at the crossroads, and we decided to go to the IHM conference, my daughter and I. I left the boys at home, and I met Laura Berquist, and she had a conversation with my daughter for an extensive amount of time. We sat in on her workshop. It was amazing, and we needed a miracle to continue homeschooling. Financially, as a single mother with 4 kids, it was virtually impossible. By the grace of God, we enrolled the kids in Mother of Divine Grace, and that was what we needed to implement at home. unlike the previous caller, we did not follow everything to a T prior to Mother of Divine Grace. And there were years my kids just had barely reading and writing, maybe some math thrown in. Since Mother of Divine Grace enrollment, our family has undergone a miraculous transformation. The father of my kids had a major conversion, went to confession first, came back to the faith. Then we decided, maybe we can reconcile. And after years of separation, bitter divorce, with Mother of Divine Grace, my kids had met friends in their classes across the country that they begged to pray for our family and for their mom and dad. And today, we continue to be fully enrolled in the learning support classes. We have teachers praying for us. My husband and I were remarried, the father of our kids, remarried after a divorce. And I have to say that with the enrollment of Mother of Divine Grace, we had an entirely new family that we could call ours.
What
Wow.
a
Beautiful.
wonderful
That's amazing.
testimony.
That's amazing.
That is so beautiful.
Isn't that
Here, I mean, you not
just being
only
God?
you saved a whole family, you restored a whole family.
Amazing.
It's the power
Yeah.
of community and truth.
Yes,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And it's Jesus, right? It's Jesus.
So beautiful.
Well, why don't you invite our audience, many of whom are not homeschooling, maybe you've piqued their interest today again, and why it's so important, what homeschooling offers
Yeah.
and what your particular school offers.
Yeah. So one of your shows has some Dominican nuns from
Yeah,
Nashville.
right.
They were lovely. They were talking about the importance of family formation. I was watching the show. I was thinking, yeah, that's what homeschooling is, right? It's family formation. It's formation for the entire family, where you're working together. There's nothing better. I mean, in terms of family, there's nothing better. You learn with your children, you grow with your children, you develop with your children. You have those bonds.
We're going to leave it right there.
Okay.
There's nothing better. Mother of Divine Grace, go to the website. God bless you. God bless all of your loved ones. The end is in sight. Keep your eyes on Jesus and his heavenly glory. God bless you and all your loved ones. Bye now.